I wish somebody would have told me this, when I was coming up. There was no YouTube and stuff like that. I had my mentors and stuff, but you know, hi friends, welcome to the next video. We are at the park. It's a cloudy day, nice and fresh though, cool. Tons of birds in the park. Anyway, I want to thank you again for sending the super thanks. You guys are awesome, and for participating here in the channel. So my latest thoughts might help you in your career when you're deciding how to manage your career. So that's why I decided to make this video, and maybe you can get something out of it to think about your own situation. So when I look at most people's careers, one of the things that are talked about all the time is where to live, where to establish yourself in the music scene or whatever. And well, it's a big point for a lot of young musicians, and well, a lot of guys that have been around for a while too. Now, not so much for us that have been around for a while, but there is some correlation between my current situation and something that you could probably use in your own life. So I'm a little distracted because there's so many birds and it's so nice to hear the singing. Anyway, so when you look at a place like LA, where I am now, you have to take into account a lot of things. We did a video about return on investment in a place like LA, and frankly, I'm not sure if it's worth it as far as return on investment. Now, if you look closely at all the expenses that you have here, I'm frankly in total shock, right? Rent, maybe a really awful apartment, $1,500 in some area that you wouldn't really want to be living in, especially with a bunch of gear. And a car, a car is like a mafia here in Los Angeles, because if you don't have one, you're completely stuck. You can't do anything. It's not like New York where you don't need a car and it's a major hassle to have a car. Actually, here, if you don't have a car, you're screwed, and they did it on purpose this way. The auto industry, the petroleum industry, and whatever, they paid off all the politicians long ago to get rid of the trolleys and make this a town where you absolutely had to drive or you couldn't do anything. So with that in mind, that really makes me mad, and I refuse to be a victim of that. No matter how many musicians are here, I refuse to be a victim of that situation. So I've invested so much in cars. I've spent so much money on cars throughout my life, and I haven't had one in probably 15 years now. And it's such a relief. I cannot tell you what a relief it is to not have a car. They're always breaking down, and you gotta deal with crooked mechanics, and getting a ticket or whatever, crooked cops in LA especially, that they want to fill their quotas, so they pull you over for anything. And everybody knows that. When I was living here, I got harassed by the cops all the time. It was much worse before, to be honest. But I got harassed because I look even halfway Hispanic or whatever, with a beard and whatever. They're pull you over immediately. Although I'm not really Hispanic, I'm like more Italian than anything else. But you know, they can't tell. They don't care. They don't. They can't tell the difference. So it's really all those things together that make me, you know, think if I do the math, I'd have to have a tour that pays a whole lot of money to make it worth living in this town. Now for what musical reasons? Now let's take musical reasons. So I play the Baked Potato, so I do some great gigs with great musicians, but so what? I can get those guys to go with me to Italy or wherever and play. I mean, that's what I've been doing for the past 20 years. Now, as you know, the only reason I've been here is because my family, my mom was not doing well and blah, blah, blah. So now she's better and I can rethink this situation here. There's so many factors to think about. In Europe, you can live a much better life, much higher quality life for a quarter of the cost. You know, I was looking at renting a car here in LA, and like for a month it's like $1,200. In Europe it's $300 for a decent car for an entire month. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen deals for like €2 a day and stuff, just ridiculous. And so measuring all those things against, you know, like a possible gig at the Baked Potato where you make $100 or whatever, I'm over it, you know. I don't think I need to do that anymore, unless I was completely rich and you know, didn't have to think about money all the time. But being in a town is a definite investment. It's an investment in your time and finances. So as a musician, I just have to, you know, look at the numbers, okay? Look at the numbers, look at the point I am in my career, and take the best, take the best decision based on the overall picture and situation, not on some romantic fantasy about playing with whoever. You know, again, like, this is because of my personal situation in my career. I've been around for 40 years now playing. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I don't need to play with, you know, whoever. I'd love to play with Chris Potter, but I don't have to play with him. You know, I've done it. I've done great gigs. I don't need to, you know. And frankly, artistically, I'd much rather concentrate on my own projects, which are 10 times more important to me than being a sideman with for example, Chris Potter. I mean, although I love to play with him, don't get me wrong, okay? So those are my thoughts today. I really hope this video has helped you out, and that you got something from it. And you know, when you're deciding on your own career, I wish somebody would have told me this, you know, when I was coming up. There was no YouTube and stuff like that. I had my mentors and stuff, but you know, things have changed so drastically in the world, and the music industry is not even remotely close to what it was before. So I can't take the advice anymore of my old mentors. Okay, they're not even around, a lot of them anymore, unfortunately, you know, and they don't, those words that they told me that were gold at the moment, they just no longer apply. What were some of those things? Go to the Musicians Union and hang out and do big band rehearsal bands and stuff like that and get your name around. And man, that is over. That would take 10 years to, you know, to do what it's supposed to do, as opposed to back in the day when the work was flourishing and there was studios and there was studio work. I mean, that just doesn't exist anymore. It's not an efficient way to do things. So what is the efficient way? I think it's to live in a place that's beautiful, with a beautiful lifestyle at minimal cost. So you're not giving your blood, sweat, and tears away to some landlord, or some company, car company. It's ridiculous, you know. And continuing to do your own projects or getting your name around internationally. And the best way to do that right now is online. YouTube is the new record companies. You don't need a record company now to release your stuff. I mean, I had a press agent, which cost me $6,000, believe it or not, and he didn't do a damn thing. You know, he got me a few reviews in some nothing newspapers in the middle of nowhere. And frankly, that's what you deal with. You know, when you have a press agent, when a record company takes you, maybe they have a little more power with some outlets, some news outlets, but it's not going to make or break your career to be signed on whatever label, you know. In the meantime, life goes on, my friends. Life goes on, the daily life. In those moments, do you really want to be thinking about, oh my God, I need to make $1,000, I need to make $7,000 just to live? No, man. Jeez. That is ridiculous. And another issue is the healthcare issue. It's a total scam in the United States. I'm just in shock about this whole thing. You know, I look at the situation with my mom. Just the other day she had a surgery, and now we're like, this surgery was completely unnecessary. 100% unnecessary, because the guy couldn't even do what they set out to do. You know, they didn't warn us in advance that there was a possibility. They just want to collect the money, right? And so now she has to have another surgery to accomplish, a different type of doctor to accomplish. Anyway, this happens to so many of my friends and now my family, you know, that this would never happen in Argentina, for example, because they're not in it for money. You can't become a millionaire being a doctor. Here, of course, you can. You have to do a ton of unnecessary crap and, you know, keep building the insurance companies, and it's a scam. It's a huge scam. So that's another reason that at my age, I'm weighing all these things. And well, look at this beautiful mountainscape here. Anyway, I'm weighing all these things and coming to the realization that unless you've been here for, you know, 20 years, you have your own home, and your home is appreciated 26 times, you're a millionaire on paper, and you don't have car payments, you know, maybe you own your own car for the last 15 years, you paid it off a long time ago, or you're super rich and not in the music industry, you work in tech or whatever, then maybe it's worth it to be here. If money means nothing to you and you have enough to like throw up in the air, you know. So the other thing is, of course, culturally, so Los Angeles is no big deal. Okay, I'd much rather be in New York if I had to choose a place in the United States. And surprisingly, New York is cheaper than Los Angeles. Report just came out. Los Angeles, the most expensive city in the world, in the United States right now. Los Angeles, followed by San Francisco. Those are the numbers. Don't ask me, you know, particulars, but it has to do with taxes and all that crap. So anyway, I hope this was useful, and that my thoughts can help whatever situation you're in, because I talk to cats all the time. They're like, well, where should I live, you know, what should I do, what should my first move be out of college, you know, what. And so this situation maybe is helping you to decide. My allergies are killing me today, by the way. Anyway, hope to see you soon. Again, thank you for watching and being a part of this whole thing. It's been an adventure, but I think in 2 weeks I'm splitting for Italy, because there's some gigs that are being lined up right now, and I'm just going to take the opportunity to just stay in Europe. That's the latest news, my friends. Okay, lots more coming up on the playing front, so stay tuned. Thanks again. Join the lesson site if you can. We're there for you. It's doing fantastic. We're about to add a ton of new material, full-on courses. So, man, hope to see you there. Only $200 gets you in the full year program. Peace.